Back here at Lucas Oil Stadium, it's Hail Varsity Radio. Coach PJ Fleck with us as Minnesota Day here at Lucas Oil. Coach, good to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
We spoke 2 years ago, and the topic of discussion was just how loaded the Big Ten is across from you and every other coach every Saturday. Just the depth of coaching. Fast forward to now. Man, it's still a loaded league, and let's talk a little bit more about the West, the race, the week in, the week out, the grind that is the West Division.
Well, they call it the Wild Wild West for a reason. You have no idea who's going to come out on top, and people do everything they can to predict. But I think the Big Ten in general is just a tremendous conference right now. It's loaded. You got everybody back. Most teams have everybody back, coming back for whatever year they're coming, 5th, 6th, 7th year. I mean, and the ability to do that, I think, is a positive for the student athlete. So we had 11 guys come back. We're excited for the opportunity and look forward to the season.
Gutsy win in Lincoln last year, down 35 guys. How did you approach it? B, how did you guys deliver it? Because it was impressive.
Well, we listened to our players throughout the entire year. I just listening to how they feel and making sure that they feel safe and healthy. And we went through that week and we had enough to play at the beginning of the week. And then as we started to go, more and more we're becoming contacts, we're testing positive, and we had to make a decision. And I talked to our leadership council, asked them what they want to do, and they want to play. The kids want to play. They always want to play. And I don't think that was a question throughout even the year, who wants to play, who doesn't. They just want to make sure that we all have different state laws. We all have different things that we have to abide to. And we want to make sure every student athlete's safe, and nobody really knew exactly what's going on with a lot of different things. But it was an opportunity for us to be able to really come together. They wanted to play a game. To me, it wasn't about just the result or the outcome. It was about going out there and getting better. Everything, our mindset was, we can't control a lot in 2020. There's not a lot we can. Let's not try to, right? Let's make sure we're doing everything we can to build towards 2021 and to be able to have the best team as we continue to move forward without losing focus of still playing in 2020. But there's a lot of decisions you have to make as a head coach, a lot of decisions as you continue to go through that, you have to take all the information that's presented. We had enough to play. We had enough not to play, and we had enough to play, but the kids wanted to play. And that's a win, with all due respect. It didn't matter who we played. That's a win I'll remember forever, because you know what the kids went through. It wasn't just because it was Lincoln or just because it was Nebraska. It has nothing to do with it. It has to do with what those kids went through. And they could have beat my son's middle school team, and I would have remembered what they did because of just what they had to overcome to get to that result.
PJ Fleck's with us here, Hail Varsity Radio, Lucas Oil Stadium. Coach, at what point did you feel good about your program and turning that leadership over from you to the peer leadership? Year 5 for you. You've built up and done really well with Minnesota. At what point did you feel it shift? And we hear and throw out culture a lot, but what year in this process, and it's always ongoing, I get it, but where did you feel really good, really proud of where that leadership stepped forward?
Well, I think when we got done with the 2019 team, you could start to see it starting to take shape, right? Bad teams, nobody leads, right? You're constantly educating, and you have a lot of resistance. Average teams, the coaches have to lead, where you're doing a lot of convincing, right? And they'll do it, but you got to convince them to do it. And then when you get elite teams, the players take over. And then what they have to becomes doing what they want to do. And when that happens, it takes off. We usually have a leadership council about, 25, 30 guys, and our players vote on them. This year, the vote, we couldn't cut it off at the votes. So what we did was we just made it leadership open to the entire team, because our players think we have so many leaders on the team. I think that's a real positive as we keep moving forward, as we keep building this program and doing everything we can to connect our past, which is very rich and very traditional, to our present. And you have to be able to do that with your players taking over and leading, and they have to know how to do that. But they also know they have to fail to grow. They have to fail to be successful. They have to win to be able to know what that tastes like. Every one of these players that are now seniors, 5th year, 6th year, 7th year, they've been really bad as a team, and they've been really good as a team. They've seen every spectrum of what makes elite teams. And you need that as you continue to move forward if you want to be successful and want to take it to a place it's never been.
PJ Fleck, coach of Minnesota, on to the next stop. Coach, thanks for making time.
Absolutely. Anything for you guys. Row the boat, Sky Mile, go Gophers. Thanks.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
thanks.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Take care, Coach.
Abby, you ready?